Welcome back to video 2 of the Get Legit challenge. I'm really pleased that you're back. If you are new to this video and you're like, what do you mean I'm back? You need to go back and watch video 1, because within that video we chatted all about the Protect Your Business blueprint, and I walked you through the steps that you need to be thinking of when you're looking to protect your business. I also explained a little bit about who I am and what we're doing, but without further ado, I am still Lucy Legal. Really thrilled that you're part of this challenge, and today we're going to be focusing on looking at sales and refunds and selling legitimately, whether you're online or in person, but really selling legitimately and how you can protect your business and get paid, which is really, really important. Not just protecting it from refunds, but making sure you get paid on time. So let's start by looking at that, because that's a big thing at the moment, actually getting paid on time. How can you ensure that people pay you and they don't default on payment? Well, the first thing I'd like you to think about is, can you change things around so that you get paid in advance? And by in advance, I mean paid before you start the work. So can you get paid on the first of the month before you start delivering any of your services? And the answer in pretty much all scenarios, and I know that if you work with corporates, there's quite a long lead time. It's normally 60 days of payment, but normally you determine, you're running your own business, and that's the beauty of this, is you can determine your own terms. So you can say to people, yeah, sure, I can do your graphic design project, but and it's payment up front. And whilst people might say, oh, I'm a bit wary of payment up front, that's up to them. They don't have to work with you. You can say to people, look, it's payment of the whole amount up front, or it's payment up front, and then before I release the documents, you'll need to pay the final payment, because it's like maybe a whole month or 6 weeks. It depends on what industry you're in and how you deliver your services. But definitely start getting paid before you begin doing any of the work. I hope that's not a new idea to you. Well, in a way, I hope it is a new idea, because it's a good way of thinking about things. But I hope that you don't have issues with payments. And I hope that you have structured any payment plans so that they all come at the start before the service delivery. So if you haven't done that, restructure things, because removing people's access or not delivering the service is a sure way to sort of focus their mind to get them to pay you. And I also want to help you to reduce refund requests, because that's something that I'm seeing a lot more of, and my clients are seeing a lot more of. People are coming to me new and saying, look, this is a bit embarrassing, I know we've not worked together before, but can you help me, because I'm sort of getting a lot of refund requests at the moment. And that's because money is tight for people, but it's also because they haven't properly explained what they're selling. And this is the crux. If you take one thing from this video, I want you to take this. Not only should you be explaining to people what you will sell to them, you also should tell them what you won't. Okay? So tell them what you'll deliver and tell them what you won't deliver, because that's what's really, really important, and that's what manages people's expectations. And it's that failure to do that second part, sometimes through fear, because we think if we tell people this, that they're going to think that we're not good enough, when we are. But we don't tell people that perhaps you're a personal trainer and you can only deliver information about personal training. You can't deliver information about nutrition or fertility or the female hormone cycle or whatever it might be. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to tell people that you don't specialise in that. It's also a great way for you to think, okay, I don't do this, so who can I collaborate with so that my client gets a really great all-round support? But maybe they don't want that. Maybe they just want personal training. So it's just about being clear to them, that say, like, look, I'm a personal trainer, so therefore I can suggest meal plans to you, but I can't give you a eat this amount of food plan. You need to speak to a dietitian to get that. And it's about being really clear, because if you say to people, look, I can support you with the foundational elements of setting up a business, but I can't tell you, I don't teach about funnels, but you're in a group program, I'm going to bring you my funnels expert. Or I can't teach you about legal, I mean, you may have seen me in other group programs before. I'm often an executive coach within group programs talking about the legal elements of running a business, because pretty much no business owners that are sort of teaching other businesses how to run their business are legally qualified, and that's fine. We shouldn't all be jack of all trades, master of none. Like, you want to be the expert in your field, so let's take the confidence in that. Let's go, okay, I'm going to own this. I'm going to own what I don't know. And this is why I said to you at the start of this challenge, this is a challenge for you to look at your business in a different way and start showing up for it and really cheering it on in the way that I'm cheering you on, because you've got so many wonderful assets, but you're perhaps thinking, this isn't good enough, or that isn't good enough, or I don't have this. And that kind of mindset is really hard as an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I've got 2 businesses. I think I've said before, I run my own law firm, as well as having Lucy Legal, which focuses on supporting entrepreneurs with templates and with courses. And a lot of the time, I'll get into a fix and say, oh gosh, like, how do I get this to work? How do we make this work better? How does this convert better, or whatever it might be? But it's having that mindset in place to go, do you know what? This business has the potential to change lives and to really do something incredible. Like, the people that we reach, it has such a ripple effect. It's just so incredible, and it makes me feel so lucky that I get to work with and support entrepreneurs, perhaps like yourself, or even in free trainings. I absolutely adore doing them, because I get to support you to give you the confidence to go out and share your business in a way that feels even better, because you go, okay, I know this. I know how to set my terms up for success. I know I need to say what I need to do and what I'm not covering. I know I need to be really clear about my limitations, what I can guarantee and what I can't guarantee. And I'm not afraid to own that, because in doing so, I'm giving real clarity to my customers. I'm also making them feel really protected and feel really safe with you, that you're being legitimate, because there's that transparency there. And let's talk now about this sort of elephant in the room, the refund section. Now, refunds are actually a lot more simple than people think, but they are spread across lots of different pieces of legislation. I remember once actually somebody said to me, can you just send me the statute? I'm going to look at it. For a start, I would never advise anyone read any statute, because it's really boring. Leave that to the lawyers. But as well, it's spread over so many different pieces of statute that it would be very hard for me to say this is conclusively every piece of statute that you would need to look at without knowing some more about your business, okay? But let me put it into really simple terms for you, so we've got a process that you can use. Whether or not you need to give a refund depends on who, what, when, where, and why the refund request comes in, okay? So we need to judge all of those elements carefully. And we need to think about who somebody is, because we need to know if they're a consumer or a business owner, because consumers do have different rights to business owners. Consumers have a right to change their mind, which business owners do not. So if you're a consumer and you purchase, you may have a right to change your mind within the first 14 days. What you purchase matters, because if you are purchasing perishable goods, you don't necessarily have the same refund as if you are purchasing services. And you also may, depending on if you set your terms and conditions up correctly, also have additional rights if you are selling or buying. There's specific wording that needs to go in. If there's digital products involved, if it's a digital content, there's actually specific wording that protects you as a seller of digital content. So if you sell a course or a membership, or even like access to Trello boards, access to Canva, obviously other things can be purchased, but access to an electronic download, you need to ensure that you're thinking about that and the wording that goes around that, and the specific wording that you can protect your business with, but only if you've put it at the point of purchase. So it doesn't apply unless you've properly brought it in. So who, what, when. We've talked already, I just mentioned about this 14-day right. If someone's coming to you asking for a refund, when are they asking you? Have they asked in a timely manner? Is it the next day? Is it immediately? Is it sort of they're getting partway through the service? When they ask for that refund really does matter. Where they purchased matters. If they purchased online, on the internet, or in person, it matters. In-person purchases make a difference. So if you purchase something in person at a mastermind or at a retreat, you'll actually have different rights to whether you purchased it online or not. So it's worthwhile bearing that in mind as both a purchaser and a seller, and thinking that through if you sell at events. And why? Why are they asking you for a refund? Now, if, say, for example, they're asking you for a refund because a product is defective, that's it's what we call strict liability. If it's a defective product, it just is the fact that you will have to give them a refund, or you can give them an alternative. Now, defective products have a lot of legislation around them, and obviously they need to prove that it is defective. But if you've sent somebody let's talk about one of our legal templates. Say, for example, you wanted to download course and membership terms and conditions for your courses to protect those, and you got our Lux business bundle, which gives you all of the documents you need to protect. To be honest, that example, you'd probably not say anything and you wouldn't ask for a refund because you'll have all of the documents. We give all of our documents in the Lux suites. So you'd probably want that. But say it was the other way around. Say you'd wanted all of the documents and when you opened it up, you only had the course and membership terms. You would want to get in touch with our team, and you could ask for a refund, but we actually have a right to correct it. So for digital content, you do have a right of one correction. So say, for example, it just you couldn't get in, or something you weren't able to access documents, you can do have a right to fix that as an entrepreneur. So it's worthwhile thinking about all those things and making sure you've got them in place, that you really fully understand, like, if I'm selling something and I'm doing a launch, like, are those sales sound? Have I made those sales? Or maybe can somebody ask me for a refund? And then one thing that my clients really do struggle with a lot is not only this idea of making the sales and getting those sales, but once they've made them, they do also panic that people are going to copy them. They panic that people, even when they're sort of selling, and in that selling process, that people are going to take their ideas and copy their social media content. And it's happened to some people before. They've come to us and said, I know they've copied my website because it's word for word and they've actually left my name in. That's how bad it can be sometimes. So what I want you to do is rest assured that in the next video, in video 3, we're going to go carefully through how you can protect your business from copycats so that you feel more confident showing up. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I would love you to share in the comments something that you've learned today that you didn't already know. Perhaps it was this new approach to refunds, the who, what, when, where, why. Perhaps it was just the idea that you can charge in advance for your services and you might start implementing that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you on video 3.